In Gridfall, we can also set the accessibility for each users, but in other models we cannot use this. So we are simply saying that for every user, this will be the effect of visibility on their speed. And finally, we see that we have data sets that are considered as equivalent, but we need to evaluate the condition of the scenario we are considering. So that's the point I want to underline here. And we should focus on these differences and say to users that you have to be well trained when using this model, because we have countries like in Italy in which there are not schools teaching this, and we have not any kind of possibility to prove that we are using these models properly or not. I have not any paper that say that I was working in this field since 5 years, and another guy maybe is working with these models since two days, and we can put the same signature on a paper. And finally, I want to underline that we need to understand that if we don't know how these models work and what is behind this model, we can completely misunderstand these applied models. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rochi. We have time for one or two fast questions.
I mean, your main point is taken, but one thing I don't think another thing that comes out of this is that you have kind of like Gridflow as a common factor between FDS and Exodus. When you use the same data set with the two different models, they all agree.
Yeah,
so that's quite. They're all wrong, or they're all
right. The point is, there is not a model that say the truth, or another one that is say something that is not correct. The point is how to study better what is our context.
No, I understand that. Yes.
Yeah, and saying, I mean, we know what were the conditions of these experiments, and we know what kind of data sets the model are using. So we should think about it, not just apply the default setting and say, okay, this will be correct because we know that Timo was doing a great work for validating this model. We know that the guys at Greenwich were doing a great work for validating their model. This is not working in this way at all. We need to think on what is our current scenario, and we need to solve each problem separately.
Any other questions, please?
I'm Gabriel from Alfire. I think you are absolutely right, and I think we need to solve this situation. But do you have any idea of how to solve this situation?
I mean, it's simple. I mean, I will encourage to have models with no default settings. If it would be for me, it would be better for a lot of points. I mean, I'm a promoter of evacuation models because I'm all the time when I have the possibility in Italy, also with people with no backgrounds at all on this, I'm trying to promote their use. You know that we run all together with Steve a website, and I always say, okay, this website is for sharing this community, try to make this community big, but we don't want non-expert user using their models. We want to push on training and push on certification for using these models. I would love to make an exam and say, okay, I can put my signature under this paper that is saying that this building is safe or not. But what I see is that I have a lot of people that in Italy is contacting me on the website, Italian people saying, what is the best model? What can I do with this model? I always give the same questions. There is not best model. It depends on what you want to do, and you need to study before what you're doing before getting some results.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we need somehow to find
but
the right way.
It's a field that is completely new. I can understand that it's not easy to find a way to categorize the different types of needs or different types of skills you need to have for making this analysis. But we have other countries where you have a sort of exam. If you are a fire protection engineer in the US, you have an exam. I'm a civil engineer in Italy, and I made an exam for making my signature under a paper, under a project. I don't understand why regulators are not pushing on this also for this field.
So let's thank Enrico once again.